show about sports by people who love sports. Welcome to Sports Isolated. Here's your host, Callum. G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Sports Isolated. Joining me on the show today is childhood friend and Adelaide 36's young gun, Alex Mudronja. Alex, how are you, mate? Good to see you.
Good to see you, bro. Yeah, I'm good.
It's been a while since we were playing in the suburbs of Woodville South, kicking a footy and shooting hoops.
Yep, sure has. No, it's good to just catch up and talk, man. Excited.
Yeah. Alex, can you tell us how you got into basketball as a junior and then obviously that led to playing college ball in America?
Yeah, I mean, I started when I was 7, so, when you were around, just followed my older brother into it and basically just developed a love for it. And like any young kid sort of does, just had big dreams and decided I wanted to work hard at it. And I guess that sort of led me to the AIS when I was 16, so I moved out from Adelaide to Canberra, went there, and that was a crazy experience. I just learned a lot, about how to just life, learn a lot about myself and how to work and how to deal with people. So that was cool, and then basically from there, got sort of the college gig as well for a year, which was also a pretty good experience.
Yeah, Alex, can you tell us about your time at St. Mary's College in America, and I suppose what's it like being immersed in the American sports culture? Obviously basketball's massive over in the States, so can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, experience-wise, it was unbelievable. You're basically on the other side of the world with, your family's not around and you got no real rules or structure, and you're also with, a couple thousand other 20, 21-year-olds, so it's a lot of fun. The basketball side of it for me was tough, real tough, because basically I came in there with such high expectations. So I came in there thinking I'm about to play, I'm about to make a real impact on the team, and I felt I definitely could. But I guess what happened was I came in there and there were just other guys ahead of me that may or may not, in my opinion, have been better than me at the time. But it just wasn't something I was ready for. So it made it tough. And I guess it's just a reality check. So that's something that I like to sort of preach to people, especially if you want to go to that college route. It's really a world that, as much as you want to talk about it to people that have gone through it before, everyone's journey is different. And if you come in with expectations, there's times where they just can't be met. Right, so you've got to be prepared for that as best you can.
Alex, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and I suppose your basketballing and I suppose what position you play and obviously how you like to play the game?
Yeah, well, I'm a point guard, and I guess I'm a point guard that likes to get my teammates involved. I'm pretty big for my size at 6'5", which you don't really see, especially in NBL guards. Kind of a lot of the best guards in the league are 6 foot, sort of even under 6 foot. So I guess that's a bit of an advantage for me at times. And yeah, I guess I just like to get my teammates involved. I'm a passing point guard. I also try and score and just play D as much as I can. I mean, that's one part I've been trying to get better at, but it's also the part of my game which I try to pride myself on as well.
Yeah, obviously the longer you play, the more you're going to develop. And obviously you came back to Adelaide and you signed with the team that you supported as a kid. I remember when we were kids and went to a few 36ers game. Me, you and your brother always used to have good times at that. So can you talk us through, obviously, how you got in contact with Joe Wright and then obviously came back to Adelaide?
Yeah, well, I mean, on that sort of, it's kind of a surreal feeling to be able to play for the team that I grew up supporting and that I love, and so I've always got that connection with Adelaide and 36ers. But I guess I was just lucky enough to, when I was at the AIS on school holidays and stuff, I had an opportunity to just come train with the 36ers team. At the time, it was the team with Creaky, Sobey, Hodgson and those kind of guys, so it was some great talent to be around. I guess I just played with freedom, and just the way I could play, I guess. And Joey we formed a pretty good relationship. Obviously, I really loved the way that he coaches, and he seemed to like me as a player. So after my year of college, that to be honest, I wasn't really happy with. Obviously, I found myself sitting on the end of the bench a fair bit and not actually being able to play. I sort of just had a few conversations with Joey and my agent, and we sort of figured that coming back to Adelaide and sort of restarting and refreshing my career as a development player could really be beneficial. And so that's I guess me and Joey built that relationship from a few years back, and then I was lucky enough for him to offer me a 3-year deal here in Adelaide that is obviously still in effect. So.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned you got a 3-year deal. The first year was obviously as a development player, and then your second and third year is going to be as a fully contracted player, which is really exciting for you. So can you talk us through, I suppose, how you felt your first year went with the club?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone followed the season, it was a pretty eventful season. Probably didn't end the way that we wanted it to, but the sort of my goal coming in was just to get better as a player, and I feel I definitely did that. And huge thanks to the people around me, to our young group and our young core, and Joey, of course. Like, I could speak about the things that Joey did for us young guys all day. He really gave everything he could to us, and he's such knowledgeable, and I think probably one of the best developmental coaches in the country, even in the world. And he just knows the game of basketball. So I think being able to come in, practice a little early, and just work with him just made me a whole lot better, and that was my goal anyway. So for me, it was a successful season, and although I got a bit of time here and there to get my feet wet and play in front of the entertainment centre and a big crowd and all that sort of stuff, so that was cool too. But yeah, I mean, I had a great time. Just looking forward to these next couple of years.
Alex, can you tell us a little bit more about Joey Wright? Obviously, it was unfortunately a pretty ugly exit between him and the club, but you obviously speak quite highly of him as a coach.
Yeah. In my opinion, what happened shouldn't have happened, and we should have kept that between the players and the group chats that we had or whatever. But I guess Joey is just a passionate guy, and sometimes passion can be mistaken for other things. I think that's what sort of happened, and sometimes his way of coaching is that if he thinks something, he's gonna let you know. Like, he's gonna tell you how it is, and he means it in a positive way, and he means it to make people better. But sometimes that can be taken in the wrong way. It might be said in an aggressive tone at times, obviously, because he's just such a competitor and such a passionate guy. But I think if people can look past that and see what he does for the players and for even his coaching staff, and in the way that he's just really passionate about helping people and getting people better. Like guys like myself, Jack, Drim, we still work out with him, and even though there's no court access, like we just go and hoop on an outdoor court during this whole situation thing. But he's more than happy to just give his time to us, and he's just so knowledgeable that I mean he should be fine for the future, hopefully. But yeah, wherever he goes, it's like exciting to see the people he coached seem to really get better. So yeah.
Alex, what are the plans for yourself in the future? We mentioned earlier on the show that you've got 2 years left of a deal with the 36ers. So obviously, I assume you want to get some more minutes on the court and obviously become a permanent player in the starting lineup. So I suppose, how do you see your development in the future, and I suppose what are your plans going forward?
Yeah, so these next 2 years are exciting. I get to be sort of on the roster and travel with the team a bit more and basically do all that. But yeah, exactly like you said, I'm just want to be able to contribute to the team, and hopefully we have a more of a winning culture this year. With Connor Henry just got announced as the head coach, and he seems like, from what I've heard, a great guy and a great coach. So it's exciting. I mean, we got youngster Josh Giddey coming in as well. That's going to be fun. But but for myself, these next 2 years, yeah, it's just trying to get some more minutes and play. And I guess for the future, I'm not really shy to say that the NBA is the main goal for me, and it always has been. And so I'm just going to keep striving towards that and see what happens after these 2 years. I don't know where I'll end up, but at the moment, I'm in Adelaide and I'm just trying to get better every day. I'm happy to be here and not going anywhere for a little while.
Yeah, obviously basketball is such a global sport, and as you mentioned, NBA is, I suppose, the pinnacle competition in world basketball. But it's obviously it's such a global sport that you could be anywhere in the world. It's quite amazing the opportunities there are.
For sure, and I've got being of a Ukrainian and Croatian descent. I got family over in Europe as well, so I mean Europe would be an amazing experience too. So yeah, like you said, the game's changing, and the global sort of aspect of it is if you're a good player, then you can make it to the NBA. Like it doesn't matter if you go to college, if you go to the NBL or Europe or whatever. It's like if you can play, it's one way or another, you'll get seen and you'll make it to the top level. So that's my mindset right now. It's just do the right things and hopefully it all pans out.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Isolated. It's been great to catch up with you after a few years, and hopefully COVID-19 goes away sooner rather than later so that we can get you back out on the court and scoring some hoops.
No, sure. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, bro.
No worries. Thank you so much for tuning into Sports Isolated. We really appreciate your support on the channel. To show your support, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next video.